So I'm having a chat with Brown Bear. How are you?
I'm good, Jim. How are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad. Thanks so much. So you have a new record out. It's called Demons. It's out now. Tell us a little bit about the record.
Yeah, it's the second album for Brown Bear. It was very much a lot of it was written during lockdown, so I've said this quite publicly that it was a really reflective record, and probably because of lockdown and because everything went on, it was the first time in a long time I'd been forced to be at home and deal with a lot of things I've been going through in life, and I did what all good writers I suppose do, and they reflect and they write and they kind of use music as a therapy. And then we got out and we worked with a producer called Buzzcutter, and we've ended up with the record we have, which I think it sounds great, and I think it's been definitely our best work to date, and it's really lovely to see how much it's resonating with people.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, that is your second record. How does the sound compare to your debut?
Oh yeah, it's just a lot further ahead. You know, we managed to have a bit more of a budget this time and a bit more time in the studio, which meant that we got to explore sounds, and we got to really look at both what was best for the song, but also give us a little bit of a chance to make a record that could sit in the market and sit competitively against hopefully albums that are kind of major label standard. You know, we do this completely independently. I actually managed the band myself, so we were doing this by ourselves, as I say, and so you need the music to be at the peak standard, and I think for what we had as a budget, we've managed to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you step foot into the studio, was it your plan for it to come out and sound like the way it does, or is it simply how it turned out?
Yeah, I think we had a really good method of how we wanted the sound to be. I'd pitched going into this record that I felt that the first record didn't do complete justice to the sounds that I'm into, and I really wanted indie soul to be our genre. That's what I've been kind of dubbing as our own kind of unique sound, and when I went in, I had this real pitch of I want this record to be a little bit like the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill got in a fight with Graceland by Paul Simon, and it really captures both sides of my identity and my personality and the music I'm into. I'm a big fan of songs and soul, so it really felt like we had a great idea of what we would do sonically, but that because it was quite a specific sound, it was how are we going to get there, and how are we going to make sure that all 10 tracks, although they touch on different genres, they still feel relevant to each other. And I suppose that's the hard part of tying off an album.
Yeah, no, definitely. And at the end of this month into May as well, you're touring around Scotland doing an acoustic tour. I bet you can't wait to be on the road again.
Yeah, I'm just so excited, and I did an acoustic tour last year, and it was amazing to just go and play in more intimate spaces and sit and tell stories in between the songs and talk about the process. And I'm looking forward to doing that again, with a new record. And we end the tour on the 12th of May. We're in Edinburgh at the Caves doing a full band show again. So I'm excited to get that production back. And now, because the record is doing quite well, because of the support of people like yourself, we're in conversations to take the album show with the band down south again, and hopefully get back to playing in England and beyond. So I'm just really grateful for those opportunities, and we're making the most of them, and hopefully we get to kind of come to an area near everyone soon. That's the plan.
Yeah, great stuff. And we'll be heading into festival season shortly as well. Are you hoping to be on some festival lineups as well?
I don't think this year. I think this year we're really focused on videos has become a really staple part of the Brown Bear setup. So we're kind of focusing on a couple of film-based ideas for the music videos, and then obviously we're talking about coming back down south, and next year's 10 years of Brown Bear it's kind of creeped up on us. So we're trying to figure out a big tour for next year, and then we'll see what festivals come off the back of that. So it was never the plan this year because the focus was the record. So hopefully we've done enough of an impact and enough momentum going with the record that next year we roll into festival season quite comfortably.
Yeah, awesome. And when it comes to your records, you must have written more than what made it onto this record. What happens with those now? Do you consider them for future releases, or do you start afresh next time round, or what happens to those tracks now?
It's Matthew Hickman.
I am. You dropped out.
Sorry about that. Hopefully we can pick that back up there.
You're all good. Yeah, luckily you ended your question, so we're on to the next one.
Nice one. That worked out well.
Cool. Yeah, so basically, I was saying, you must have written a lot of tracks for this record. What happens with those now? Do you consider them for the next time round, or do you start afresh? What happens with those tracks?
Yeah, that's so funny you asked that, because a lot of people have asked that question recently about all the other tracks and how much was written for the album, and both the first record and the first record, I would say there's probably about 15 tracks and 10 went on. This time there was over 20, but I'm a bit of a purist. I kind of like to, I put all the songs forward and I demo them, and then from that they cut down, and then we record them, and then from those recordings it gets cut down to the 10. But I think I think an album's an album and it fits together for a reason. So with those songs, I don't know if they'll ever see the world. I kind of think they were just a moment in time and they've passed, and sometimes you borrow things from them for the new record or whatever. But I know that I probably won't put any of them forward for a new record. I kind of think they were what they were, and if they ever see the light of day, cool, and if they don't, I suppose it's just what happens. So yeah, I'm not one of those artists that's like, let's get a limited edition album and get all these 4 tracks on. I think I like things to be a piece of work.
Yeah.
So probably people will never hear them, sadly.
And I know you've been around for 10 years and this is your second record, but do you feel that you've kind of found your sound now and you know what Brown Bear is, or do you think you're still working on trying to find out the core underlying of what Brown Bear is?
No, I think this record's we've really found our sound. So it feels like now, you know, the first record was out and it was called What Is Home, and we just went with what we were doing, and it was like, okay, but I don't know if that's 100% me. And this time I feel like, yeah, I really captured what I wanted to do, and I'm excited for what's next, like developing that sound further, and really, you know, feels like just the next logical step in our sound and in our evolution. So hopefully it keeps progressing, and I never feel like 2 records should ever sound the same anyway. So it's about developing this sound further and seeing where we go next.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Matt, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me, and hopefully speaking in soon.